Hey everyone, this is Akebia Quinata, also known as chocolate vine. I call it Quinata because it has quin is kind of like quintuplets, groups of five. So you have 5 leaves on this Akebia vine. I have it growing on this apricot tree. And as you can see, it kind of is growing around the base. It propagates very, very, very readily. So definitely put it somewhere where you don't mind it kind of taking over. I'm kind of keeping it restricted to one branch of this tree here. That way, the rest of the tree can focus on fruiting and leafing. It doesn't seem to really be affecting the tree. So this is the first year that I actually have 2 different varieties. So on one variety of Akebia, there are 2 flowers. There's the male flower and the female flower. And so this type of flowering is called Monoecious. And you can think of it as, actually, so here's the female flower. It's kind of got these sticky stigmas there that are going to be receptive of the pollen. And then right underneath is the male flowers, which are going to provide the pollen, but it is not self-fertile. I've had this particular variety of vine on the property for many, many years now, and no fruit. But this is the first year. Last fall, I planted another variety. So we're gonna get some cross-pollination and hopefully get some fruit this year. But yeah, it's monoecious, which you can think of it like, if you know audio at all, mono means you have the left and right channel coming out of just one speaker. So it's the audio's in mono. So you could think of monoecious as the male and female flowers are on the same plant. Sorry if the birds are really loud. They're having a conversation up there, but it just goes to show you that making a little suburban paradise with lots of different plants attracts lots of different birds. So they're happy. So what we're going to do to cross-pollinate is I'm going to take the male flowers. I'm just going to pick them straight off. Now the bees and other pollinators in the area really should be the ones that do this cross-pollination. Maybe they do. And I don't want to do all of their job for them. I'm not going to take all the flowers off. I'm just going to see if I can grab one here. See if I can get the camera to zoom. It's got these purple, this light purple, lavender colored anthers there, and the pollen's that same color. It's got this beautiful periwinkle color. And so I don't want to do all of the jobs of the pollinators, of course, because they probably do a better job than we can with pollinating, but I'm also not sure if they'll respond well to this plant. So I'm going to do some of it myself. I'm noticing that the dark crimson flowers are the females. And you can use a paintbrush to cross-pollinate and get the pollen where it needs to go. This is actually kind of tricky to do it myself. Just want to try to get all the stigmas covered in the pollen from the male flowers. And remember, you're not reducing fruit production by pulling the flower off, because the male flower isn't going to produce fruit anyway. But you don't want to strip all the male flowers off your vine, because like I said, you want to leave some for the pollinators in your area to do the job too, because they're going to do a better job than we will. Yeah, so I'm going to continue doing this and also do the opposite now. I can take some of the male flowers off this variety. It's kind of interesting. These stigmas kind of look like mushroom, like primordia mushroom, like little baby sprouting mushrooms. But anyway, so I'm going to pull off some of the male flowers off this vine and cross-pollinate with the female flowers from the first vine we looked at. So go ahead and pull off a flower here. Walk back. And I actually have Akebia throughout the property, but some of the other vines aren't in this much sun and they aren't flowering as much. So I'm going to focus on cross-pollinating just using this instance of Akebia. And again, you want to make sure that you have different varieties. So if you go to the nursery, you can't just buy two different vines or two vines, because they'll likely be clones of the same variety. So the variety that you see on the apricot tree I got a long time ago from a, dropped the flower, but you get the idea. I got it from a nursery kind of in the middle of nowhere, Tennessee, that I think they were growing seedlings. And then the other one was a named variety that I got from a nursery here in Nashville. And so it's very unlikely. I mean, there's a chance that these are exactly the same. They do look really similar, but it's likely that they are different varieties. So they will cross-pollinate, and I'll get this delicious coconut milk flavored fruit in a couple of months. I don't know exactly how long it will take, but Akebia is a really cool plant. It keeps its foliage even in the winter time, which not a lot of plants around here do. And it can cover and trellis an area really easily, really quickly in 1 year. So if you want privacy or a windbreak or something along those lines, it's a great plant to have. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you want to see my next video that I'll do on the fruit of this plant.